Couchsurfing is a website with now 12 million members worldwide, where people offer free accommodation for travelers. You can also use it to just have a city tour with some people from that place, but mostly it's used for accommodation, and it's a really great opportunity to get in touch with the locals. In Iran there are many thousands, I think 80,000 members or even more by now, which is interesting because officially it's forbidden, at least the way couchsurfing is done there. The law says that if you stay with local people, you have to register with the police within 24 hours. But nobody does that because they might have questions you don't like and you might get in trouble somehow. So that means if they catch you, they have something against you. And I had some hosts who had some trouble with the police, but most of them didn't, and they just keep doing it. In general, Iranians are quite experienced in breaking laws, so this is just another one for them. Well, actually, the book is called Couchsurfing in Iran. It's actually a kind of misleading title because I never slept on a single couch. It was always... Normally, I slept on the ground, on a carpet, sometimes like really good Persian carpets, so they were quite convenient. I had this bed, I had here on the right of this ping pong table, this little thing, so it was always something different, always a surprise. You never know what kind of accommodation you'll get. And well, there's also this couch. People, when they see my book, you can see it here, often they don't believe this is an actual picture. They thought we just took this picture on the bed and put it on this car. But this car was really there in Isfahan on the street, and I asked the driver if I could sit on this bed and lie there for some photos. I couldn't tell him it's for the title page of a book, but it was a bit confusing for the owner, I think, of this car, but at least I could do this photo. So that's where this cover was made. I think the reason is why the government doesn't like couchsurfing, that people have too much contact with Westerners now, and they get probably inspired, and the government is not stupid. They know that most Western tourists would be critical of this government, so if you have a lot of contact with them, it might inspire you to also protest more or try to change the situation in your country. And I think it's also true. I think it definitely works like this. I had a feeling that I inspired some people to fight more somehow, or to fight more for their freedoms, because I just told them what kind of freedoms we have here. So officially they say it's because they are afraid of spies staying at some places, and you don't have control. If you stay in a hotel, you are registered automatically. You give your passport, and the government kind of knows where you are. But if you don't do this, then nobody knows where you are. Facebook is forbidden, but every person younger than 40 has a Facebook account. Satellite dishes are forbidden, but you have areas behind them. Yeah, and you have areas in the city where every apartment has several satellite dishes, so it's completely obvious. Sometimes there would be a kind of razzia and the police would take them down, but then half a year later you buy a new dish and maybe for 2 years it will stay there again. So it's this is how people deal with those limitations, and you cannot take away every kind of freedom from the people. They will always try to find ways around it. I talk because I worked as a travel writer for a long time, and I talked to a lot of extreme travelers, and everyone I met who had been to Iran told me the most fantastic stories about incredible hospitality and very interesting, very cultured, intelligent people. It was almost too good to believe. I didn't believe a thing of it, but I put it on my list. I have to go there, and now I'm the same person, and I'm telling everyone that this is actually an incredibly friendly country and very different from the perception you get if you just read the newspapers, of course. I mean, of course, in the newspapers you don't find the everyday stories, and they are often very different, and it's surprising how similar people are in countries that we maybe consider exotic or very different, but people have the same dreams, the same problems in their everyday life, and so it's always fascinating to see, yeah, those similarities in the end.